Have you ever found yourself where you just can't throw the scraps away? Well, me too. And scraps are starting to take over my shop, so I need to get organized. So today I'm going to build a scrap cart, a small one for my small shop. So stick around and check it out. Now let's go. Okay, so my first step for this build was to just give a rough sketch, get some rough dimensions with kind of scraps that I have available to make this build. And so I'm coming up with a dimension of 25 wide, 15 deep, and 24 and a quarter tall. And that's based on the scraps that I have. And then also I'm going to incorporate some casters, locking casters, so that I can roll this cart around the shop when I need to move it. So let's start cutting some pieces.
On this build, I'm using 1/2 inch shot birch for the sides, 1/8 inch hardboard for the back, and 3/4 inch shot birch for the remainder of the cart. The 1/2 inch plywood wasn't really scrap. I had a half sheet left over from another project, and I figured that would work fine for the sides of the cart. And here I'm cutting a center divider for the lower section of the cart.
More scraps.
The front of the cart was slightly lower than the center cross member, so I cut a slight taper on the center divider.
All right, next up, I'm cutting both of my side pieces at the same time. I'm gonna put a nice little slant on it here so that I can readily see all my scraps. I've got my depth set to a little over 1 inch. Hold this down, and let's make a cut. Okay, so one of the channels that I follow is called Make Something. You guys, if you haven't seen him, you should go check him out. He's got great woodworking videos, very good tutorials, etc. But one of the things that he did a video on, which is so true, is woodworkers love overkill. And so I'm going overkill. I'm gonna go ahead and edge band all my pieces here. Even the side pieces that I just cut on the 1/2 inch, which I've never edge banded 1/2 inch, should be interesting. But I want it to look finished. So here we go.
The edge banding went fairly quickly, however the 1/2 inch was a little bit of a challenge to trim, but I managed my way through it. While I was edge banding, I realized that I really need to build an assembly table. Trying to hold pieces while trimming is not the most effective way to do it. For the assembly, I'm only using glue and 18 gauge nails. I may go back and add screws, but I think the glue should be more than enough on such a small build. And here is where some type of corner clamps would have come in handy. Not only to get a square assembly, but also to help keep my hands away from where I'm shooting the nails in. The old adage of you can never own enough clamps is so true. I'll have to keep my eyes open for some Labor Day sales. If you guys know of any good source for reasonably priced clamps, let me know in the comments below. And if you are enjoying my content and want to support the channel, be sure to give the video a like and be sure to subscribe as well. It's free and it really helps me out. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so I'm going to bring you as much content as possible, especially on my shop build out and upgrades. My next video I'm working on now is a solution for storing full sheets of 4x8 plywood and my foam board that I use with my track saw. It's been a real challenge since I'm working in such a small space, but this new storage solution, which also doubles as a French cleat wall, is promising to be my best upgrade yet to my small workshop. I went to my local home center and priced out the casters they had in stock. Unfortunately, they were priced more than double what I could get them for online, so I opted to wait for them to come in. I was impressed with the quality of the casters. They even came with screws and washers for the installation. I'll be sure to put a link in the description below if you'd like to check them out. And here I used double-sided tape to hold the casters in place while I pre-drilled and screwed them to the base of the cart. Last year I went to Workbench Con, which is an annual event for creators. I got to meet some of my favorite YouTubers like Johnny Brook from Crafted Workshop, Jason and Craig from Bourbon Moth Woodworking, Keith Johnson, Cam from Blacktail Studio, and my favorite, Izzy Swan. I'm planning to go back again next year. All that to say that all the attendees walked away with a gift bag with all kind of things, including the X-Fasten double-sided tape that I'm using to temporarily hold the casters. I can't say enough good things about this tape. It always comes in clutch for temporary holds. I assembled the rest of the casters, which went relatively quickly, and then gathered all the scraps I had in the shop into one pile. I loaded them into the cart and took it for a test spin around the shop. The casters are super quiet, especially on the LVT flooring I just installed in the shop. This was a quick, easy build that anyone can do in an afternoon. And if you have any additional storage ideas, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my next video where I show you how I build a French cleat wall that doubles as a storage rack for plywood and laminate. Until next time, get out there and make something cool.